Hello again, it's Locknoob, and my last video on using core shims was surprisingly popular for a beginner's guide. One of the comments on there from Brian Hignett said, have you tried using a key blank? And he recognised this a lot of locksporters, unlike locksmiths, don't really have access to a lot of key blanks, but I have a key blank here and a union oval that it fits in, just to sort of show what he meant. It's an interesting and useful technique. Essentially, when you have a key blank like this gradient at the front, this leading edge of the key blank, actually represents the full possible height of pins in the lock. So the pins can be really, really, really low cut, or as you push it into the lock, it will raise the pins all the way up to the highest point. So you can see if I just use the key to go in and out of the lock, I'll be raising all of the pins from the lowest position to the highest position in the lock. In a way, it's a bit like a gradient rake. It still takes a little bit of finesse, but I have had some success using it. It's an interesting technique to show you, so I will show you both techniques. I have a shim, I have a lock. If I put it in normally, and you can see here, pin 6, I can push pin 6 up and it springs back down. I can also put the hook in from the other side, go all the way to the back, and if I so wanted, I could manipulate the pin that way too, as you can see. For now, I'm just going to go in through the back because it gives us a better view on camera. So, if I do that, push the pin gently up, when the drive pin reaches shear line, I can enter the shim between the two pins at the shear line, and I basically shimmed pin 6 now. The important thing is to make sure that shim remains straight and down the keyway at all times. It's very easy to get an angle where essentially the shim will do this in the lock, and that isn't very useful. You want to have it so it's going to face all the way down the plug and shim those pins. Okay, so how are we going to use the key? Well, I'm just going to put it in. It's going to raise all the pins up. I'm just going to put some gentle pressure on the back, and hopefully as I wiggle this in back and forth, you'll see the shim itself advance through the lock. Now again, just make sure that I've probably moved 3 more pins now, just making sure that it's true in the lock. Very, very, very easy to misalign. Gentle going through. It can get a bit sticky at times, so a little bit of wiggling. So as I push it in all the way, the pin will be lifted to the highest point. As I remove it, it will be to its lowest. Gentle pressure on the lock. If you put too much on, it'll buckle, and it can get a bit sticky at times. Make sure I'm on the pin. Sometimes sort of doing a jiggle with it while putting some minor pressure on means it will give in. Like I said, it's not foolproof, but it is quite a good technique if it works. Oh, there we go. Got another one. Still true down the keyway, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, gotta be a bit careful. And I think we've got all the way through now. And yes, look, the plug is now turning. So there we go. Now, what I can do is I can get a follower, keep the shim in place if I like, and push those, push this core all the way out like this. And there we go, put that key pin back in, keeping that in place, and there we go. I have a plug which has been removed. There we go. So Brian Hignett, thank you for that tip. Really, really useful one. You know, not all of us have access to key blanks, but Yale key blanks fit a number of Yale type locks and Euro locks, so always useful to have a few of those around. Everybody else, I hope you found that interesting. I might follow this video up with a front of the keyway core shim bypass technique to show you that as well. Oh look, this is slightly undercut. Oh, be an interesting pick. I'll have to have a pick of this union. Okay, I'll see you next time.